Good evening or afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast by Adrian Weather Forecast. It's going to be another update. In this video, though, we're going to be watching out for the chance for an upcoming pattern change as we are watching out for a open wave trough to make its way towards the northwest as we get towards the end of this week and towards the beginning of next week. Specifically towards the weekend, we're going to be watching out for an upcoming change as we're looking at for a dip in a significant cold front across the northwest, as well watching out for very frequent snowstorms, and we are watching out for over 4 feet of mountain snow anywhere from the Rockies towards the spine of the Sierras, as well watching out for a threat of flooding. So we're going to start seeing an active pattern make its way towards the northwest and Pacific Northwest in the next few days. But before we get to the video, I would recommend you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button and bell icon. But without further ado, let's get in the video. So let's actually get a quick rundown for the next few days here across specifically the northwest, looking at an overall surface analysis of the United States. So this is 18Z as of today. Obviously, we do have kind of a stationary front across the southeast United States, and that's kind of why we are seeing that weather we are experiencing right now in the southeast, that really cold and wet weather. But as we now get towards around 6Z and then 12Z tomorrow, we're going to start seeing a trough making its way in towards the northwest United States. There's that trough right there. There you see kind of the dip in the isobars. That is where that trough is actually located. It's going to be a little bit further to the northwest of the actual Pacific Northwest. So it's going to kind of be dipping over here toward areas of British Columbia, which is why we're not going to be watching out for a large cross-country snowstorm to develop like we typically see this time of the year. But it's going to kind of be focused towards those higher elevations and kind of closer towards the actual coast. So it's going to be more of a Sierras of more Sierras than the Rockies, at least for the next first few days, which will be mainly from Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we'll kind of see kind of a, I guess, a break between really Monday and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll see more Rockies event. But here's the overall cold front. Going to be seeing a really significant cold front ahead of this low pressure, riding that open wave trough. And there you see snow becoming more likely as we get towards 0Z on Saturday, and mixed precipitation as this cold front quickly makes its way far into now the northwest United States. It's going to be seeing a lot of precipitation kind of to the south of this trough, and that's going to allow for a lot of that rain to kind of convert towards sleet and any frozen type precipitation overnight into Saturday across specifically the Sierras. And as we get towards Sunday now, this low pressure, there you see the cold front now quickly advances towards now Utah, Nevada, and California. That's going to allow for the chance for now to get some action into where like areas near Yellowstone. Of course, then we're seeing a small break kind of through Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday we start getting some more action towards the Rockies. But gonna definitely watch out, basically specifically on 0Z on Sunday. Really seeing some big action as just behind the trough. We're gonna be or just behind the actual low pressure and the actual cold front. We're gonna be seeing, of course, that trough really to the far northwest. Basically, there's a trough right there. We're seeing a lot of that kind of prefrontal trough form basically across the northwest, allowing for a lot of that cold weather and just overall a ton of snow for the next few days across the northwest, as well as some bone chilling weather towards the west central United States and Midwest following in the early week. So let's now get a quick look at the 500 millibar height. So there's obviously right now the pattern we're seeing today, of course, seeing a pretty weak trough system there across the east United States. Going to be seeing some overall below average pressure across this region. Going to be seeing overall some pretty cold and chilly weather. So definitely going to allow for, of course, a decent and cold start to the weekend, but that will quickly change as now by getting towards really Saturday and Sunday. There you see we have a pretty strong high pressure coming, setting in place across the central United States. But let's focus in the northwest. So this is looking at the 18Z GFS. So here's the overall look now. By kind of Friday, there you see that trough kind of really staying and kind of dipping towards the actual area of British Columbia, not the actual northwest itself. But as we get towards Saturday, it kind of gets a little bit closer towards the northwest, so it could be seeing some really deep, cold, chilly air, kind of for Washington and Oregon, with some cooler air as it's cold front. Obviously, it will be kind of just towards, kind of acting as a prefrontal system. And there you see that really cold air and that really strong dip in the jet stream from this trough. There's going to be an open wave trough kind of staying specifically across this region in the actual Pacific Northwest. They're going to be seeing a lot of severe action. Going to be the coldest air as well. Going to be seeing some pretty strong winds. And that's where the actual ejection, the actual tip of this jet stream will actually be centered. And then, of course, as we get towards Monday and Tuesday, early next week, we'll start to see now this trough start to kind of dip a little bit more towards the southwest, allowing for some action towards the Rockies. But of course, not going to be a great pattern at all for the east, as we're kind of be seeing a blockade system at the high pressure, really strong high pressure formed along the Great Lakes, and that's not going to be pretty whatsoever. So it's going to be a rather warm start to the week next week across the east and central United States. Let's now get a quick look now at the overall NAM 3 kilometers. So obviously you start seeing some slight snow showers, of course, developing overnight, but that's not going to be in the main system. But here's the kind of the start of the main system. As we get towards tomorrow, there you see kind of some trough showers, or some showers developing along this trough, and of course along that cold front, that prefrontal system. But some really good snow in the next 24 hours or so across those Sierra Mountains in the upstate portion of Washington and Oregon. And as we now get later on, eventually towards Saturday and Sunday, that's where the snow is going to start becoming a lot more widespread across portions there of northern Washington. Some good showers there starting to develop eventually across Oregon. But the main event's going to be kind of mainly Sunday into Monday, really. But seeing some really good snow showers, really just some basically stalling of snow showers across the Sierras, specifically, like I said, Washington and Oregon are going to kind of get the most action. However, we could get, as we get towards Sunday and that cold front starts to really dip down towards the Four Corner states, we can get some really good cold air with the leftover moisture towards the far east, allowing for some good snow showers, possibly some heavy snow showers that could very well form across Yellowstone and portions there of Montana. Let's now see what the GFS shows though, on a kind of a more broad scale. So obviously today going to be seeing some scattered showers overnight across upstate Washington. But there's the actual trough itself. There's going to be a low pressure right here, and here's the overall wind bars. You see the isobars basically. There's the isobars right here, and you kind of see that's really gonna be the big reason why British Columbia is gonna kind of get the most of everything, the rain and the snow. They're gonna get kind of the biggest part of the system. There you see British Columbia gonna get absolutely hammered. There's that low pressure of 985 millibars. Really strong trough right here. Of course, it can kind of be more. At this point, it kind of look like it's a little bit more negative tilted, so it could very well be at this point a negative tilted trough, and it's gonna allow for a lot of that moisture and a lot of that advection to kind of just stay towards the areas near British Columbia, kind of all across the spine of those really high elevations across the areas right here. That's where we're going to be seeing the main part of this system. But of course, as we get towards tomorrow and then Saturday eventually, another trough will start to set up there, which will kind of be a little bit more kind of, at this point, zonal winds. And it's not going to be anything too strong. It's going to basically be an open wave trough with zonal winds all across its vicinity. So not going to be seeing anything too crazy, some scattered showers. There obviously will be some cold air, as this cold front has eventually, by this time on Saturday, would be far to the west. So you're going to be seeing some good snow showers all across the west. And of course, some will be extremely heavy, and we may see obviously some widespread windstorm warnings. And of course, as we get towards basically Monday, at this point, we'll be seeing another trough, and this trough will definitely be something to watch out for not only the Sierras, but as well the Rockies. So here's a look now at what the NAM 3 kilometer wants to have as we begin the next 60 hours, or towards Sunday morning, basically. So here's the overall look, and of course, really good snow across mainly really Washington, of course. That's like I said, it's going to be kind of the Pacific Northwest going to be seeing the best amount because of the way this trough is formed. It's not only kind of basically a little bit more negative tilted, but at this point it's going to be a little bit more open wave. But obviously as well, it's going to kind of be a little bit flow too far northwest off the coast at the point where British Columbia is going to get far the most amount of snow. But in that second trough, possibly where it's more zonal, that'll be more centered across the United States. But really good snow, possibly going to be experiencing over 6 feet of snow across Olympia National Park. And of course, scatter areas of over 6 feet to 7 feet across Washington and Oregon, according to the NAM 3 kilometer Kuchera, how you want to pronounce it. But quickly, I want to look at the European here as well, because I did not do the European for MSOP, and I kind of forgot to. But here's the overlook of the European, of course. There is that kind of trough far to the northwest, actually a little bit more further northwest than what the GFS is showing. So they're most likely showing a lot less snow and a little bit less widespread snow, specifically on the Friday, which will be tomorrow. We're only having really limited snow showers across Washington, and then that second trough by Sunday will obviously bring a lot more snow across the Sierras and across the Rockies. But like I said, it's way far to the northwest. But here's a look at the GFS, and obviously they are a lot less intense than the Nan 3 kilometer, but there you see that main snow sticking around across portions of southwest British Columbia. Of course, that's going to be the area of possibly maybe around basically just over 4 feet of snow, getting pretty close towards 5 feet of snow. So 4 to 5 feet will be the range according to GFS Kuchera, but obviously the Nan 3 kilometers going far off to the distance of basically 6 to 7 feet. But like I said, going to be really mainly a Pacific Northwest event, but really centered across basically just Washington and Oregon. And then if you kind of really center it, it's going to be basically Olympia National Park and, of course, western central Washington. And the highest elevation of the Sierra is going to be seen up to basically just under 4 feet, so around 4 feet. Of course, going to be seeing some scattered snow showers across Nevada, Utah, maybe Salt Lake City could get something, maybe some scattered trace across other portions of Oregon, and of course some really good snow in those highest elevations in the far northwest. Across the Rockies, could see some decent snow, possibly told to maybe just over a foot across Yellowstone as well towards areas in far northern Utah, and then of course the Europeans are a lot less intense with this snow being a lot less widespread.